All right, Nicholas, you've got my attention. Hey guys, Jay. Welcome back to the channel. So guys, things are moving fast and furious with the Masters of the Universe movie. So fast, in fact, that, we were getting leaks and promotional photos, which honestly, I just can no longer ignore. As you guys have probably known, I have been pretty critical about the whole situation with the Masters of the Universe movie. I have always stated that, for me, it comes down to the story. Most of the cast, no, you know what? Pretty much all of the cast are incredible choices, bar none. Regardless of what you think of the actual casting itself, at the end of the day, it'll come down to the story. And with the latest leaked photos of Nicholas Galitzine in Prince Adam attire, is it Prince Adam attire? I mean, he's wearing a pink shirt and purple pants. I mean, come on, that's about as Filmation as you can get. Reinforced by the fact that he has the Filmation power sword. Talk about leaning on old tropes when you're trying to make your own unique take on the movie. Wink. But at the end of the day, we do have to see something familiar, right? Well, today we got something about as familiar as you can get. I mean, if they had not thought about leaning on Masters of the Universe Filmation Edition as far as they have, today they pretty much solidified the idea that they really are going to be giving at least the older fans some amazing nostalgia with Filmation. Let's take a look at what was posted on Nicholas Galitzine's brand new photo on his Instagram page, because guys, if you are a Master Universe fan, regardless of what era you come from, this one's going to give you the feels, bar none. Let's have a look. So the truth is, I have not been shy about my opinions of the Master Universe movie from Amazon and MGM Studios. I honestly have my doubts. I mean, at the end of the day, we're looking at a production which has been delayed multiple times from multiple different studios. The casting is, just absolutely stunning. The actors who have been announced so far are just some of the best in the industry, and I really have no qualms about the people playing and portraying all of our favorite Masters of the Universe heroes, villains, and of course, what they are going to be bringing to the big screen when it finally hits. This movie is shaping up to be something special in terms of its casting. And in terms of the director, you really can't have anyone better than Travis Knight. I mean, what he did with the Bumblebee movie for Transformers, the opening sequence was just a love letter to the fans every single step of the way, and I really do hope he brings that kind of magic to Masters of the Universe. After all, we've already had a glimpse at some leaked photos from Dumois on Instagram, and they have provided even more additional photos showcasing director Travis Knight photographed on set. This article comes to us from foreternia.com. Guys, they're friends of the channel, and they are doing some amazing work. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. Here's Travis Knight literally on set with Nicholas Galitzine as Prince Adam, wearing, again, like I said, a pink shirt and purple pants. And it looks like they are well into production, having fun, doing some great little behind-the-scene moments. Prince Adam's living his life on Earth, and honestly, there seems to be some issues with the local police force, as Adam has to explain why he's carrying around his power sword in broad daylight. And it appears that Adam is actually living in Oklahoma City, of all places. Obviously, with these candid shots, we see that the police force is more than happy to take the prince into custody, while having a bit of a jovial moment from time to time. These, of course, are behind-the-scene photos, so they are on set and shooting as we speak. Nicholas is looking much beefier than when he first was announced as He-Man, so my hopes have started to run high. And today, something was posted on Nicholas's Instagram page, which basically blew my mind and honestly gives me that little glimmer of hope that maybe this is actually going to be a decent film, production-wise at least, because he posted this incredible photo. Oh my God, everybody. This is ridiculous. I mean, we were able to get a quick glimpse at the power sword in the leaked photos that were provided by Dumois. And from these photos, they were sharp enough to really get a decent look at it. But with this teaser photo, which was posted on Nicholas's Instagram, this is just dialed it up to 11, I gotta tell you. And as you know, I've been incredibly critical about the production of this film, and right now, I really am starting to see some hope. Let's have a closer look. Posting these into Photoshop so we can see a really good look at this. Oh my gosh, guys, zooming right in. First of all, I want to take a look at some of the additional features other than the sword. It looks like He-Man has some gauntlets along with some wrappings for his forearms. Wow! We can see some heraldry here, and it's kind of hard to make out. It looks almost like a medallion of sorts, and it's really hard to see what type of heraldry this is. I wonder if it's similar to the dragon heraldry that was on the original Master of the Universe film from 1987, where the dragons really did play a part in the history of the Eternian mythos. It's a wonderful looking gauntlet. It's got all this etching and details. We can see some rivets here on the side, which are actually very much in line with the way the Master Universe wrist guards are usually portrayed. And of course, this one is very similar to the way the cartoon edition of He-Man actually has a full gauntlet on his right hand. This one has a leather strap which attaches to the back of his wrist, and that looks absolutely incredible. Nicholas seems to be grasping onto the Sword of Power with all of his strength, and if we move up further, wow, take a look at the Sword of Power's hilt. It really is evident now that they are going to be leaning heavily on the Filmation aesthetic for the Master Universe film. There are some wonderful telltale nods here. We can see that the crossguard has been replaced with more of a stylized hilt, which traditionally these would actually be part of the crossguard. Possibly they would be open on these two ends to catch swords. But in this case, as with the Filmation version, they've actually opted to close this section off, leaving these two apertures here on the left and the right of the sword. It is a wonderfully beautiful design, and enhanced even further with the way the production designers have decided to create these wonderful bony structures for the left and the right, really giving it that Castle Grayskull aesthetic overall design nature. If we were to take these as different shapes for bones on the left and the right, two additional more bones to close off this section as guards, and at the bottom it looks almost as if it has a collarbone structure right at the hilt of the sword. And as we've actually seen in the previous photos from Dumois, there appear to be some sort of runes that are actually at the base of the hilt. I'm really curious to see what those runes actually are and if they have any significant meaning to the Sword of Power. Moving up further, it's incredible to see all of the patina and the pitting that's actually happening in the sword, meaning that this sword is incredibly old, absolutely ancient in its overall wear and tear. This is not something that is an ornament which is stuck on a king's wall or something like that. This is a seen battle. To be perfectly honest with you, it hasn't been taken care of at all. As a matter of fact, you could say that it's been neglected for the better part of 20 years, which could lead us to the conclusion that the Sword of Power has actually been somewhere on Earth, perhaps even buried, and it is Prince Adam's destiny to locate and discover the sword for himself. I really am amazed at the care and attention that the production designers have taken with the Sword of Power. First of all, its overall design, I love it. And then, of course, the weathering takes it to the next level. And as beautiful as this photo is in terms of its overall nature, one thing which I've really been curious about is what type of symbol is He-Man going to be wearing on his chest. Heading over to Kickstarter and taking a look at the Fall of Grayskull 2 relaunch effort from Daniel Benedict, who's trying to get his own fan film for the Master Universe restarted for the funding. Although Daniel was able to raise about $87,701 throughout the campaign, it did fall short of its $250,000 goal. So this new campaign is going to be crucial in terms of trying to get this film funded. I'm hoping to find more details out when I meet Daniel at Toylanta. It's only actually a few weeks away, guys. Daniel, of course, is one of the guests of honor at PowerCon, and I'll be able to see him March 28th through the 30th, along with a host of many other special guests, including our good friends Robo, formerly of the Foosh and now hosting Robo Don't Know, Shartimus Prime, who will be bringing his expertise to the show, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle alumni Ernie Reyes, who played Raphael as well as Kino, and of course, a surf ninja. Paige Turco, she played April O'Neil in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and 3. Steve Cardenas is also going to be there. The Red Ranger himself, good friends of the channel, Newt and Johnny Havoc. Some of the most incredible cosplay for He-Man and She-Ra, along with the Four Horsemen cosplay. You guys have to see their work in person. And of course, the OG toy collector, Pixel Dan himself, will be there, signing his book, The Toys of the Master Universe, and of course, answering questions and meeting with the fans. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. Returning to He-Man and the Master Universe, the fan film, which I mentioned earlier, The Fall of Grayskull 2, stars Brian Cage as He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe, and he is wearing the traditional straps of He-Man, which of course bears the Iron Cross, which is made of cordite, which helps to enhance He-Man's powers. Having said that, I was curious to find out if Nicholas Galitzine would also be wearing something similar, or if it would be one of the many symbols He-Man has donned throughout the years. If you're interested in finding out about all the symbolism of He-Man's chest armor, you can definitely check out Spectre Creative's video on the history and controversy of He-Man's many chest symbols. Scott Knightlake goes through the entire history of He-Man's chest armor, from the Iron Cross to his H emblem, depicting a brand new direction, which has continued into 2023, as well as the other symbols which were introduced in 2000X by the Four Horsemen, while still retaining a very interesting symbol of the Iron Cross in the belt, as well in the Sword of Power, and other depictions of these new symbols on different sets of armor, and even the brand new depiction of the Sword of Power with a stylized H in the Netflix CGI version of He-Man and the Master Universe, which then transitioned into the final season of Master Universe Revolution in He-Man's final form. The question now becomes, which symbol will be utilized in this version of the Master Universe motion picture? Throwing this image into Photoshop, I decided to use a couple of filters to sort of lighten up the image itself and try and really get some details to find out more or less what type of symbol we're dealing with here. Unfortunately, the picture of Nicholas was bathed in such high contrast for the shadows which are being depicted here that it really was difficult to find any sort of definitive image to find out which of those symbols is on his chest. However, zooming in a little bit closer, we can try to make out what we're able to see from the pictures provided. First of all, it's rather evident that he is wearing some sort of strap set. We can see the bottom half of the straps right underneath his right pectoral. And if we move across, we can actually see that there is some sort of defined shape, which is looking very much like a shield of some sort on top of Nicholas's chest. Very similar to what we can see here on Brian Cage's chest, in so much that it is a square of some sort. The symbol inside of that chest shield appears to be roundish in certain areas. We can see a lip here, which means that it's quite raised, and this is sort of reminding me of Battle Armor He-Man's chest. The original Battle Armor He-Man had this rotating feature which would show different stages of damage when struck. It was a wonderful toy gimmick at the time, and you can see that there is this interesting looking lip which is around the actual H symbol. This seems to be a very similar pattern here, as we can see this lip surrounding some sort of indica symbol, if you will. And if we take a look at the red nature of the symbol itself, you can just barely make out that there seems to be some sort of pattern here which is tapering up and tapering down on this side here. And that normally would lead me to believe that this could be indicative of the Iron Cross of He-Man. However, we cannot definitively say that that's what the symbol is, as this image truly is a high contrast image, and the only reason we're even able to see any of these details is thanks to Photoshop. As a matter of fact, overlaying a second image, and it really does start to show just how much work Nicholas Galitzine has been putting into his overall regiment. You can see his traps are really starting to become defined. His shoulders are just absolutely massive, and his biceps have just ballooned into these huge He-Man arms. As a matter of fact, I would say that he's getting closer to wrestler Brian Cage, who is well known for his overall physique, and has already depicted the most powerful man in the universe once in The Fall of Grayskull. This really is an interesting look into the behind-the-scenes development of Master Universe, and I, for one, who've been very critical about this overall work, am now beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I have high hopes for this film going forward, but I still have my reservations, as I still feel that the Earth connection is not really the best starting point for any Master Universe film, as the true nature of Master Universe is fantasy, and Eternia should be the number one focus in my humble opinion. Having said that, I do see the work being put in by the cast and crew of the Master Universe. Nicholas is looking great, so are the rest of the cast, and even the official Master Universe Instagram page has already showcased that they are 100% behind this film, and that gives me an incredible amount of hope for the future of this film. It's my hope that most of the film will happen on Eternia, as I'm thinking the film will start out with Prince Adam's exile to Earth, and hopefully maybe spend only about 10, maybe 20 minutes of the film explaining the backstory and where the sword is, how Adam finds it, and of course how it's revealed that his destiny is to return to Eternia to save his people. This is what I'm hoping for a grand fantasy epic, and of course we need to see a freaking green tiger with Cringer and Battlecat, and who knows, maybe even see Orko in the background. Guys, let me know your comments in the comment section below. What are your thoughts about this new photo being released on Nicholas Galitzine's Instagram page? Are you guys as hopeful as I am that this photo is hopefully a glimpse at what will hopefully be the Master of the Universe that we've always waited for to come to live action? Or are you still as worried as I really am that this film is going to be a little bit cheap and not really have the love and attention to detail that it needs or the funding that it needs to really showcase this epic world that is Eternia. Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. I am really hopeful for this movie. Honestly, no matter how critical I am about, the overall storyline, I really am encouraged by the cast, which is just expertly put together. Regardless of what you think of the cast, though, it will always come down to the storyline. This has been a crazy year for Master Universe. I mean, we're seeing releases by Mondo, we're seeing releases by Mattel doing their Master Universe crossed with Thundercats for their 40th anniversary. It is a crazy time to be a Master Universe fan, and I am so humbled and so grateful that this is happening, especially now, 40 years later, so that fans of Master Universe can enjoy it as much as I do and as much as you do. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, please do leave me a like. It really does help me out. Master Universe continues to surprise in 2025. As a matter of fact, PowerCon is returning this year, not in the way we expected. It's actually joining forces with Toylanta, and I will actually be there as a guest. Thanks to Toylanta for inviting me. I'm actually very humbled about this. I had no idea I would be invited at all. And of course, my good friends JP and Carlos over at the Badass Reviews and Thundercats Classics will also be there for From the Realms. You guys definitely got to check out their raffle. It's a great time to pick up some amazing prizes. I'll have all the details on my Instagram page, and you can also check out From the Realm for details of the raffle itself. And of course, we're going to be over at PowerCon Toylanta, and we will be there along with Daniel Benedict, who is trying to raise funds for the Ball of Grayskull 2, which honestly, I have much more high hopes for. Although I'm getting very, very excited about seeing what this new Master Universe film is about, I am super, super excited about the possibility that the Fall of Grayskull 2 will reach its next funding goal, and that we'll be able to see this incredible fan film for our very own. Guys, let me know those comments in the comment section below. And I had the opportunity to actually speak with Brett of Toylanta, who's organizing the entire event, as well as Daniel Benedict and the From the Realm crew. And you guys can check out that video right here. I'll see you guys there. I hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. We have the power, everybody. We have the power. And Master Universe is going strong 2025. Good journey, everybody. Keep proud.